Ahoy folks, and welcome back to Broadside Game with me, Zug. So, we are revisiting the Veteran again, because people won't stop talking to me about the Recon build. I know exactly what build you guys are talking about. It's a very good build, but not every Recon build is exactly the same. Okay? Not all builds are equal. But because people won't stop talking about it, here it is. Because I'm sick of answering comments about it. So, the Recon lasgun build, the cookie cutter meta build that every other bugger on this website's done, so I'll do it as well. First of all, we're using the dueling sword. I'm using the Mark II. A lot of people say, "Oh, the Mark II, it's awful. You want to be using the Mark IV." I like the Mark II. Yeah, use whatever Mark you want. Mark II, Mark IV, whatever. Lovely attack pattern. Very weak spot centric, and it helps you deal with really heavy armor with just a couple of jabs. Lovely weapon. I'm really glad that we finally got access to it. So, the modifiers and how are we spreading them? Well, mobility is the dump stat, and before anyone jumps into the comments and says, "Oh, I don't like mobility," it's always going to be my dump stat. There you go. That's the only way I'm going to do it. So, okay, so damage. You want damage at 80%, finesse, cleave, and penetration. Lol. All at 80, because they're good. Mobility, because it doesn't let me stab things better. As for the perks, we're going for flak, because flak is the most prevalent armor type in the game, and it will help you deal with most targets. And unyielding, because it will help you deal with Oghren, and in case you have to get toe-to-toe with one of those disgusting plague Oghrens. And for the blessings, we're going with rampage. This is going to help us in horde situations. 36% extra damage when we are cleaving many targets, and then uncanny strike, which will pretty much be rolling the entire time that you're using this weapon, because it is built to hit weak spots. Now I will do a little tiny demonstration for you. So you only have one target. Even if you're aiming straight at it, you can see uncanny strikes is just stacking up nice and quick. But when there are many targets, let's try and get them together. There you go, rampage is rolling. Even then, even in a horde situation, you're still hitting the head, which is the weak spot, so you're getting uncanny strikes and rampage. So they go together nicely. So that's the dueling sword for you. Now, the Recon lasgun. Yes, I hear you all. You don't like Headhunter, I understand. Headhunter was purely there because in the talent tree, we weren't picking up loads of crit nodes. So the Headhunter was helping us by filling in a small amount of crit for us to then proc Infernus and all the other things we need crit for. But that was too complicated. So we're going to use the cookie gunner build. Again, mobility is our dump stat. And I hear you scream, "No, collateral should be..." Nope, mobility. Mobility, mobility, mobility. Collateral gives us stagger. It's only a little bit of stagger, but it gives us stagger. And mobility, well, I'm not even going to read it, don't care. It's mobility. On this channel, mobility is our dump stat. Right, enough of that nonsense. So let's go through it. So we've got damage, ammo, stability, and collateral all at 80, and mobility at 61. But please do keep in mind, this is a bug. Okay, the modifiers all added up will add up to 380, and the more keen-eyed among you will realise that my modifiers add up to 381. This is purely a visual bug, and the modifiers are exactly how they should be. Just some of the weapons seem to either go up one or down one, depending. They'll fix it at some point, I guess. Right, so for the perks. For the first one, we have two options. You can either go flak, because it's the most prevalent armor type in the game, or you can go unyielding. Both are very, very good. Basically, whatever tickles your pickle. Do you want flak? Do you want unyielding? Totally up to you. I prefer flak because I'm lazy. And then we're picking up crit, because everybody loves crit. I love crit. And as for the blessings, yes, we're taking Dum Dum. I hear you. I hear you. Okay? You don't need to keep commenting about it. I know the cookie cutter build. We've all tried it. Dum Dum, very good. Close range hits, does lots of damage. And then Infernus. 4 stacks of Infernus on critical hit to a maximum of 12. Nice and simple. And now for the Curios. All 3 are the same. They are 17% toughness with extra toughness, max health, and damage resistance gunners. We're going for this because we want purely defensive buffs, which is why we're taking an extra 15% toughness on the Curios and an extra 15% health. And of course, damage resistance gunners, because gunners suck. They really, really suck. And they hurt us. They hurt us in our soft places. They ruin things. Anyway, that's the Curios. And let's jump in and take a look at the talents. So we're not taking the usual long shot, because long shot does not really like to go with Dum Dum. I mean, it does balance each other out a little bit. When you're not close enough to get Dum Dum, you're far enough to get long shot, but we do need some points in the tree, so we've had to sacrifice that one. We're going down the middle here with Close Order Drill, up to 33% toughness damage reduction, the more alloys in coherency. Then it's Confirmed Kill, replenish 10% toughness on elite or special enemy kill, and a further 20% toughness over 10 seconds. And then a stamina boost into toughness, and we're picking up the Crack Grenade. Yes, the Crack Grenade. And then into a health boost, and covering fire into Fire Team. Now we're going to grab the toughness damage reduction here, and jump over to the right to pick up a 5% crit node. If you want to be more helpful to your team but do less damage, you can take out this crit node and put it into field improvisations. But this build's not about helping people. This build's about being right. And then we're going to be picking up Demolition Stockpile, because I don't want to scrabble around with everyone else for grenades. I like having them just regen. So we'll always have a way of dealing with monstrosities and heavy Ogryn armor. And then Voice of Command, because it's Broadside Gaming. The only voice on this channel is the Voice of Command. And then into Duty and Honor. Now also provides you and your allies in coherency with a plus 50 toughness for 15 seconds. This can exceed your maximum toughness. It is a little overshield, and it's delightful. Into 25% suppression dealt, and then over to the left, we're taking the 5% range damage, and then into precision strikes for plus 30% weak spot damage. This does apply to range and melee. And then into fully loaded for 25% extra ammo, and down into superiority complex for plus 15% base damage against elite enemies. And of course shock trooper, because crit, yeah. And then let's jump over on to the right. We're taking 5% melee damage here. Repository, plus 5% critical hit chance for 8 seconds on successful dodge, stacks 5 times. And before you all start banging the keyboards, I hear you scream, Zag, but you've taken out all the mobility. Yeah, I did. Yep. Dodge more. There you go. I'm being silly, but I will add one thing here. Okay, if you are having trouble with this, actually, I'll go through this side and then I'll talk about that. So, Repository, and then to Duck and Dive, plus 30% stamina on avoiding ranged attack by dodging, sprinting, or sliding. Down into Stamina Regeneration Boost, and then into Onslaught. Continuous hits to a single target applies 2.5% brittleness for 5 seconds to the target, stacks 16 times. If you're new to the game, welcome, hello, and you don't know what brittleness is, because it's really convoluted, the systems they're using this. So brittleness is the name for rending when you apply it to an enemy. Rending is something that is a buff applied to you. Brittleness is a debuff applied to the enemy. So it's basically rending. And rending works out to be about 1% rending is 1% damage. So, you know. But, right. What I'm going to say here. If you are having trouble keeping Repository up, there is something you can do. What you do is you kick out one of your Curios, and then you go and find a delightful +3 stamina Curio. And on that Curio, you will build it the exact same way that you've built every other one, apart from one difference. On your +3 stamina curio, you will take out the maximum health and you will put in 1 slot of stamina regeneration. So it should look like toughness, stamina regeneration, damage resistance gunners, +3 max stamina. And there you go. That is going to help you massively with dodging and blocking and generally not getting your head cleaved open. But as I said, I am lazy. I prefer to run the 3 toughness curios. And I don't really have much trouble dodging with this build at all, but I have an ungodly amount of hours in this, so I've just become numb to it. And then down into the middle, we're taking +25% suppression dealt into for the Emperor. You can change that if you want to keep their heads down for +50% ranged attack suppression, but people get annoyed about that as well, because apparently suppressing ranged enemies is really annoying because they stop shooting at us and duck. But yeah, so you can take for the Emperor for just more damage, or if you want to be kind to your team, you can take Born Leader. Kindness node, damage node, people get annoyed node, and then into tactical awareness. Combat ability cooldown reduced by 6 seconds on specialist enemy kill. Just means we can use voice of the command more. And then into Iron Will. I will never stop saying this, the best node in the tree. +50% reduced toughness damage if above 75% toughness. Then into some more delightful toughness, down into Bring It Down for +20% damage against Ogryns and monstrosities. This counts to all forms of your damage, ranged, melee, grenades, all of it. And then into Focused Target. Gain a focus target every 2 seconds. Stacks 5 times. Tagging the enemy applies the focus stacks to them, causing them to take 4% additional damage for each stack, and resets your focus target down to 1. So you're applying a 20% damage boost onto the target. So everything you tag is going to take more damage. So you've seen how the melee weapon works. Lots of heavy attacks to the face, makes the bad men go away. And if you haven't seen it already, and also I am aware, like new players may see this, a lot of this is tongue-in-cheek, please don't take offense. So the dueling sword, it is also very, very good at dealing with these big, scary Ogryn. You might not think so, but you stab them in the face enough, they tend to go down. Now, the Mark IV dueling sword has a much more predictable attack pattern. They are all straight jabs to the face. I prefer the Mark II because it is easier weaving with hordes and mixed hordes with this blade, but I know a lot of people do prefer the Mark IV. Neither are wrong, pick whichever one you like. And, of course, we have our ever-refreshing grenades. Again, if you get in trouble, there you go. Also, incredibly good for chucking at monstrosities. Just beware they don't magnetize to monstrosities as well as they do to Ogryn. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And then, of course, the main draw of the build, which is the Recon lasgun with Infernus and Dum Dum. And because we have Onslaught, you are going to be able to hose down heavy armor very, very easily. There you go. I can't quite show the build working with all of the dodge stuff because I'm not running mods and I'm not running the aggressive Psychonarium stuff. So when you're dodging, you will also have a lot more crit, so you'll be doing more damage, and everyone is having a lovely time. But as you can see, even without reciprocity, it's just very good. Like I said, that's why everyone and their mum on YouTube has made one of these builds. And because I'm sick of replying to comments about it, there you go. I've made one too. So if you're coming here to see the exact same build you watched 5 minutes ago, now you've got it. Ah, dear. But in all honesty, it is a very good build. Very fun, very effective. And everyone loves a dueling sword. There you go, folks. That is the bog standard cookie cutter meta Recon lasgun build that everyone and their mum has already made. I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, please do like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And I shall see you all for the next build. So until then, take it easy. I'll see you later.